They're back.
Paimon's pooped. Hi. Why are there only two of you left?
After you left, Yao Yao and Shu Yu tired themselves out playing with their kites. Gao Ming offered to escort them home.
Before he left, he said something that I don't quite understand.
Oh? What did he say?
He said, a kite is always tied down no matter how far it flies or how high it soars. Its tether prevents it from ever truly flying free. He looked quite dejected as he said this.
Now that you mention it, Gao Ming did seem to have a rather strange attitude towards kites.
A reflection of himself. Oh, if I were a kite, I would cherish that tether as a symbol of kinship and the bonds that tie us and...
Shenhe?
It may be an exceedingly slim and distant connection, but lose it, and you lose that which links you to home. If Gao Ming truly sees a kite as a reflection of himself, then I fear I understand his words even less.
Well, people often have different points of view depending on their mindset and experiences, right? It's actually quite normal.
Just like some people can eat spicy food, but others won't go anywhere near it?
Exactly. That's why tolerance and understanding are as important as they are.
Tolerance and understanding? What brought about this conversation? Did one miss something?
We were just chatting. You don't have to butt in on every little thing, you know. Where were you anyway?
One was merely doing a bit of cooking. Night fast approaches. If you are otherwise unoccupied, one would entreat you to stay and eat before you depart.
Oh, it's been so long since I've had the chance to enjoy your cooking, Cloud Retainer.
Worry not. One has prepared a variety of meat and vegetable dishes. One is more than familiar with everyone's culinary proclivities.
Hey! Paimon's hungry too! It's not like the dim sum and grilled fish could keep her full the whole day, you know?
Shenhe, Ganyu, come with me.
Whoa, what's with all the secrecy? You're not trying to play favorites, are you? If you're ready to serve the food, we can help too. This is...
Oh, I can feel the wind brushing against my legs. This is a bit embarrassing. Is the headpiece secure? I should have asked Cloud Retainer to check before I stepped outside.
How do we look?
Huh? She asked them just like that?
You look pretty too, Ganyu! Oh, how should Paimon put it? You both look so elegant and refined! Those outfits really suit you both.
Given that one employed the services of the best tailor in all of Liyue, one would expect nothing less. What colors have you been partial to lately, Shenhe and Ganyu?
Lately? Why is Cloud Retainer suddenly asking about what colors we like?
I like black.
One is gratified to see one's disciple has inherited one's own tastes.
The color black doesn't get dirty easily. A virtue I've come to value recently.
And you, Ganyu?
I favor blue and black.
And the material is sufficiently comfortable, yes?
Yes, very. I simply cannot thank you enough, Cloud Retainer. For this gift. And the kite, too.
Thank you, Master.
One is content, as long as you are pleased with the gift. One hopes these garments will see much use.
Seems like your supreme cuisine machine is just getting better and better, Xianyun! This golden crab's particularly good. The shell's deliciously crunchy, and the meat inside is so succulent and sweet! Paimon can't stop eating. It's a good thing Gaming isn't here, or Paimon would have to duel him for the food. You know, with chopsticks.
He traveled all this way on account of the kite-making workshop, and he spent the whole afternoon looking after Shuyu. One was hoping to treat him to a meal. Oh well. One will just have to extend one's thanks in person.
It's rare for someone to make such a good impression on you, Cloud Retainer.
One has high standards. He appears to be a young man of much merit, and one is not the type who would see such potential squandered.
It appears that he wishes to break free from the kite string that tethers him.
Kite string? Huh, what strange metaphors you speak in, Shenhe. Ever since you returned from one mean restaurant, your turns of phrase render one at quite the loss.
Where do we even begin? Oh, do you know about the conflict between Gaming and his dad, Xianyun?
One has only heard that the two are not on good terms.
He ran away from home and hasn't been back since.
Oh?
Ran away, you say? Oh. One believes we would all benefit from a more thorough retelling. Start from the beginning.
Oh, okay. Paimon just hopes he won't mind.
What?
This shall not do. Lantern Rite fast approaches. We must make haste. As one was contacting various tailors around Liyue, one could not help but be reminded of Menogias. He possessed a singular talent for clothing design. He had an exquisite eye, not just for fabric selection and color pairing, but also for what accessories could best accentuate a garment's overall styling. At a gathering of Adepti, Bonanis once complained in secret to some of the ladies in attendance that the skirt Menogias made for her was too long and impractical, lamenting that it would only hinder her in battle. However, when one asked Menogias his opinion, he remarked that the train of the skirt would serve to enhance her adepto countenance by exemplifying a certain elegance. Menogias was that type of person. When it came to topics relating to garments and accessories, not even Rex Lapis could best his stubbornness. And later... one seems to have strayed off topic. One means to say that Lantern Rite should be a day of reunion. It is a time to address problems before they turn into regrets. Fate is fickle. The cruel reality of this world is that suffering and misfortune can befall any of us without design or reason. If there is a chance for young people to remain insulated from this reality, one should do one's utmost to make it so.
That's nice and all, but...
Do you have any ideas, Cloud Retainer?
Perhaps adeptal arts could be of use. No. Mechanics, perhaps. One fails to see its use in a situation such as this.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Combining our efforts is a fine idea indeed. Aha! One has an idea. How about this? Does that make sense to everyone?
Yep. Oh, Paimon really hopes this works.
One's designs never fail. Now then, I counsel rest for all, and to make the necessary preparations. One shall see you in 2 days.
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine. I believe I will continue to take pride in fulfilling my duties. Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and cause them no harm. Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it. Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them. Cause them no harm. Melusines are beautiful creatures. They...
It's time to carry out the plan! Let's go find Gummy! Hi, Gummy! Paimon sees you've certainly gotten an early start this morning. Playing games already, are we? Who won this time? You the one buying dim sum again?
Hey, when you put it like that, it makes it sound like I'm always the one losing.
Ah, perfect, you're all here. There's an important commission I need your help with.
All right, I've got the time. Where are the goods?
It's not just goods this time. I need you to escort a tea merchant and their wares from Chaoying Village to Liyue Harbor. A very important client has requested to meet with him.
Sure. What's this merchant's address?
Here.
If the client's that important, then this must be a very crucial, very pressing commission, right?
Of course, the sooner you complete it, the better. I would advise you to depart as soon as possible.
All right, don't work too hard now, Longjo. We'll set off then.
You're a bit quiet today, Gaming. Oh, do you want Paimon to tell a story?
We're almost there. I'll take a rain check on that.
Hello, you must be the tea merchant heading to Liyue Harbor. We're here to escort you.
Dad?
Oh, so you're Gaming's father. It's nice to meet you. Just leave this delivery to him. Trust Paimon, he's got this in the bag. Gaming is super good at what he does. Everyone at the Secure Transport Agency says as much. Even the Ministry of Civil Affairs has nothing but good things to say about him.
Seems like you've made some sort of name for yourself at least.
The goods are all in order?
Yes, they're all here.
Then let's get going.
A very important client has asked for you by name. You kinda have to come with us. Paimon doesn't know how we would explain ourselves if you just didn't show up. Plus, you'd be missing out on a huge money-making opportunity.
I see. I suppose I will have to trouble you all to escort me, then. Let's go.
We've been walking for so long. Is anyone tired? How about we stop and rest for a bit?
I'm fine.
Gaming, don't you usually have some delicious snacks on you? Come on, bring them out so we can share them.
I'm fine. Thank you.
gave us last time was so delicious. Have you ever tried it before, Mr. Ip?
Paimon. This place looks nice and open. Why don't you all rest here for a second?
Huh? What about you? You're not going to join us?
I'm not tired. I'll keep watch.
Oh, but
Just let him go.
okay, we'll just share amongst ourselves then. Did you know, Uncle Ip, that the flavor of these cakes changes depending on...
Halt! Who goes there?
It appears that one's movements were overly conspicuous.
Enough of your musings. Focus. Focus on the matter at hand. Present your exquisite ornaments at once.
Indeed. Bring them forth readily and without protest.
Ah! What do we do?
It seems as if these two are acting alone. It won't be difficult to subdue them, but they might have something else waiting in store for Dad. The best way to keep him safe is... Leave this to me. I'll handle them. Traveler, Paimon, take my dad and the goods away from here.
No, Gaming. It's too dangerous.
This is what I do.
A thorny foe indeed. Let us depart and seek a target softer in blows and disposition.
Don't think I'm gonna let you off so easily.
Away! Let us away!
Gaming!
Don't worry, he's a great fighter. Paimon's even seen him take down a dozen or so treasure hoarders all by himself.
But Gaming, if he had just stayed by my side and learned the family trade, he wouldn't have to put himself in such dangerous situations.
We just have to trust him. Let's go on ahead. We'd best get away from here, in case there are other bandits in the area waiting in ambush.
All is going to plan.
Okay, we should be good to stop here. Youngly? Oh no, what is he doing here?
Good sir, please, listen to me. Reel in your line and leave this place as quickly as you can. There are bandits in the area.
Bandits? Acting in broad daylight? Oh. Ah, I see. It appears many people are catching a chill as of late. If your throat is bothering you, Paimon, perhaps some tea and rest are in order.
Nope, no need. Paimon's fine. She just, had some cake stuck in her throat.
If there are indeed bandits in the area, then we should inform the Millelith at once. Oh? Well, if that's the case, such matters are best left to those with the necessary expertise. Wouldn't you agree?
I suppose you're right. If ordinary people like us got involved, we would only cause more trouble.
Since we find ourselves otherwise unoccupied in this beautiful area, why don't we find a quiet place to relax while we wait for good news?
That would be lovely.
So, Uncle Ip does have a reason to be worried. After all, Gaming, the guard we mentioned, is his son.
Gaming. The name sounds somewhat familiar. Ah, yes. That is the name of the Usho dancer who has been performing around Liyue Harbor recently, is it not?
Oh, have you seen him perform?
Indeed. I cannot help but admire his skill. He truly encapsulates the spirit of the Suani. Usho dancing has become more well known in Liyue Harbor recently. However, although performers are seeing budding success, they have no doubt had to face many hurdles along the way. Ones not so easily understood by spectators such as ourselves. If you ask me, what truly deserves admiration is perseverance in the face of adversity. That is a rare attribute indeed. I have heard many of my acquaintances praise Gaming for his kind, selfless, and courageous disposition. To have a child so accomplished and upright, you must be a very proud parent indeed, Uncle Ip.
Seems like Zhongli has decided to skip the formalities.
Well, he's a hard worker. Yes.
You should be sure to tell him you think that when he gets back.
Your son is young yet. It's normal for someone his age to be a bit hot-headed. It's understandable to find talking about such things in person difficult. If there's a particular sentiment you wish to convey, perhaps we could pass it along for you.
No. It wouldn't be right to ask that of you. This thing between us has festered for many years now. In truth, there are some things that simply aren't easy for us to talk through. I've been in the tea business for most of my life, and I always hoped my child would do the same. Otherwise, how would he support himself? Over the past few years, I heard how well he was doing for himself as a guard. How his work was taking him to farther and farther off places. I also heard that he never gave up on wushu dancing. It made me happy. But I was also worried. When you're young, you can handle all that physically taxing work and manual labor. What young person isn't capable of making a living that way? My concern is what happens when you get old. Every time I get to thinking like that, I cannot help but be reinforced in the belief that I was right. That I was right not to give in. I often regret introducing him to wushu dancing as a kid. If I had known how things would turn out, I would have never taken him to see those performances in the first place.
It is only natural for a parent to strive to send their child down the right path. No one would begrudge you that sentiment, Uncle Ip. You need not worry.
You seem quite young, Mr. Zhongli. Yet you speak with such wisdom. Perhaps I have misjudged your age.
Your words are too kind. Truth be told, one of my old friends has several grown daughters. Rather than fretting about their future, however, she prefers to let them find their own way.
Then she's more easygoing than I could ever be. I fear I lack such an open mind. I meant to say earlier, there is no need to be so polite. Feel free to call me by my name, Ipdak.
Sure.
So, do you also think I fret too much, Mr. Zhongli?
That's not exactly what I was hoping to convey. Only a fool would ask a parent not to worry about their child. But think of it this way. Raising a child is not unlike flying a kite. Hold the string too tight, and it can no longer soar. As my friend once said, if your children are aiming for the stars, clipping their wings will only cause them to come crashing down. You need to let out the line for a kite to soar.
It seems I was too stuck in my ways.
You need not reproach your heart for caring. You simply need to loosen your hold a little. Indeed, with such a big heart, why not allocate the time you usually spend worrying about Gaming to the pursuit of other things, like going for a stroll, drinking tea, or taking in the scenery. You never know what surprises could be in store. Things can change in the blink of an eye.
The blink of an eye, you say? Do things change so quickly?
Children grow up in quite the same way, do they not? Day after day, year after year, sometimes in the blink of an eye, but always when you least expect it. As a father, I'm sure you know that best.
Yes, you can say that again. One second Gaming was a kid, the next thing I knew, he was ready to fly the nest.
Zhongli certainly has a way with words. Oh, Gaming is back! Hey, Gaming, we're over here!
Dad, Traveler, Paimon. Good, you're all here. Oh, and Mr. Zhongli from the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor? You're here too?
A fated meeting indeed. We were just enjoying some pleasant conversation.
Is everything resolved?
Well, you could say that.
What does that mean?
Traveler, Paimon, come with me. I need to talk to you.
Huh? Oh, okay.
I'll come right out and say it. Those two bandits, you sent them, didn't you?
So, that's how we're starting off?
Can't look me in the eye, huh? Guess I'm right then.
Okay, but how did you know?
At first, their mannerisms seemed a bit stilted. But once I got close, it was obvious that they possessed great skills. I was right on their tail, and it should have taken only a few steps to catch up to them, yet somehow, I was never able to close that distance. People with that level of skill would have gone about things differently from the start, like sneaking up on us while we were distracted. Unless, of course, their real motive was to lure me away from the group all along.
Wow, you're pretty quick on the uptake.
I just have a lot of experience. I've dealt with many a ruthless bandit in my time, but I've never seen ones like them. In the end, I told them they would make good guards if they ever wanted to get back on the straight and narrow, and that they could hang out with me in Liyue Harbor anytime.
You ever consider you might be a little too good at making friends?
I'm guessing you guys were trying to help resolve things between my dad and me? I appreciate it, I really do. But this conflict between us has been going on for a long time. Even if those two were real bandits, and I was able to subdue them and show him what I was capable of, it wouldn't change anything. You've seen the way he talks to me.
It's not like that at all! Your dad really cares about you. You should see the way he talks about you when you're not around. Zhongli was talking things through with him, and he nearly agreed to let it go. You don't believe us?
He won't let it go. He can say as much as he wants to other people, but he won't talk to me. I'm certain of it.
You told us you wanted to prove yourself to your dad. Why don't you tell him about all the hard work you've done these past few years?
Will that even do anything? I'm not sure talking is enough.
You won't know unless you try. Just like how you won't know if something is delicious unless you taste it. Listen to us. It's time to put these people skills to good use. You can make friends with anyone, so why not your dad?
I'll do my best.
You are very knowledgeable, Mr. Zhongli. I'm impressed. Despite my being in the tea industry for several decades, it seems I still have much to learn about the art of tea tasting.
You flatter me. It was nothing but a few humble musings.
How much tea have you drank since we've been gone?
Ipdak and I have found many a common interest. Our friendship, much like a cup of tea, seems to grow stronger the longer it has to steep.
Well said, Mr. Zhongli. Gaming, Mr. Zhongli is very knowledgeable. You should take the opportunity to learn from people like him when you're in the city.
Huh? Oh, of course.
Ahem. Zhongli?
I have very much enjoyed our conversation, Ipdak, but I, unfortunately, have some unfinished funeral parlor business to attend to.
Oh, I hope I didn't keep you. My apologies for taking up so much of your time, Mr. Zhongli. No need to stay on my account. When you're less busy, let's find a time to meet. I'll treat you to dim sum.
It would be an honor.
We'll see you off, Zhongli. You two have a nice chat, all right? Thanks for helping us talk things through with Uncle Ip. Good thing you were able to pick up on what we were putting down.
I have been around the both of you for some time now. You could say I have a certain level of expertise in that regard. As for my role in the conversation, think nothing of it. I hardly did anything noteworthy.
You never change, do you? Why did you have us walk all this way? Paimon thought we just had to go far enough to be out of earshot.
A friend approaches.
Hello.
Xiao, you're here too?
I've been here the whole time. A ghostly kite. Could that elusive Director Hu be coming to Wangshu Inn once again? What is she doing here? I suppose it matters not. Given her relationship with Rex, well, Zhongli, I might as well go pay my respects. It's you. I thought you were Director Hu.
Ah, your arrival is most fortuitous. Do you want to try out this new gadget? The addition of the power source makes the takeoff more stable. It's just that...
He seems quite immersed in the study of this device.
I fear it's almost too stable. It completely negates the pleasure of seeing one's kite sway with the wind. It's a bit of a shame. In truth, I'm here because Director Hu dispatched me to purchase some items in preparation for Lantern Rite.
I see. Much like she does every year. Much like she'll do next year, I would imagine. Am I wrong? Or has she once again sent you out to buy, what is it, sesame oil or something?
While we're on the subject, I do wonder why she is so obsessed with using sesame oil in the preparation of mixed vegetable dishes for Lantern Rite. A recommendation from Xiangling, perhaps. What do you think, Xiao?
I've only met Director Hu a few times. I'm hardly the best person to ask.
Ah, and is that not a sign that you should visit Wangsheng Funeral Parlor more often? It wouldn't hurt to grace the parlor with your presence now and again, when you are otherwise unoccupied. This one here is a traditional kite, one without any equipped mechanical device. Director Hu tasked me with studying the differences between the two to determine which one is of greater merit. Many hands make light work. Perhaps you could test out the other kite for me?
All right. I have made my comparisons. If speed is what you're after, the mechanical kite is the better choice.
Wonderful. I shall pass that information along to I'll leave these two kites with you. Perhaps you can find a few friends with which to partake in the activity. You might find it to be an enjoyable use of your time.
Oh, wait. Who enjoys kite flying?
Well, I would imagine someone of your talent and wisdom is more than capable of finding out.
So, you were testing out the kites for Hu Tao and even roped Xiao into doing it for you? Paimon didn't ask earlier because the situation was, awkward.
I would hardly say I roped Xiao into anything. I simply sought the help of a friend. Besides, we did the testing together.
Seems like our pool of competitors is growing. Do you like kite flying, Xiao?
I suppose I neither like nor dislike it. Although, watching a kite gradually ascend into the sky does bring me a certain peace of mind. Perhaps they're a bit like Xiao lanterns in that way.
Kite flying is also a pleasant form of relaxation.
Have you ever thought about making a kite, Xiao? Cloud Retainer taught us how. We can teach you if you want.
There's no need. Menogias was the only Yaksha among us who had an interest in matters of ornamentation and design. When Lantern Rite is over, come find me near Pervasi's temple if you have the time.
It's getting late. I should go inform Director Hu of our findings.
How's she been, by the way? Be sure to say hi to her for us.
The last time I spoke to her, she mentioned that she would be visiting Chaoying Village in a few days. If you have the time, perhaps you could also make the trip. If you happen to run into her, you can pass along your regards in person.
We'll keep that in mind. Take care, Zhongli. See you later.
See you next time.
Coming.
You can go first.
I don't have anything to say.
Then I'll go. I still don't want to leave Liyue Harbor.
Oh. I can't say I support that decision, but... Hey, let me finish before you get all worked up.
Sit, Shenhe, sit. You must be tired from your journey. Shall I pour you a cup of tea, or would you prefer something else to drink?
No need. I'm not tired. They're gone, Master.
Perfect. The time is nigh for us to make an appearance. Do you remember the plan when recounted to you?
Yes, Master. We aim to give them a demonstration of familial love. So I'll have whatever you are having.
All right.
What are Auntie Xianyun and Shenhe doing here? Just how many people are involved in this scheme? I suppose all I can do is just take a seat and see what happens.
Perfect. I just so happen to have bought some Sunglow tea recently. It's quite the delectable variety. Or it would be if one has not been forced to drink it every day in the hopes of whittling down one's considerable stash. One has more than had one's fill already. Oh, forget it. Such thoughts detract from the present need to keep up the conversation. Has work been busy during the holiday season? Do you need my help with anything?
Drunk guests can sometimes cause trouble, but I deal with them as you taught me, by pinning their heads against...
Are Auntie Xianyun and Shenhe serious right now?
Oh dear. While one was busy orchestrating this act, one seems to have forgotten about Shenhe's various eccentricities. What I meant to ask was, have you made any new friends? We live so far from each other. It would be a great comfort to me to know you were surrounded by good companions.
You already know of my past circumstances. Recently, I've been conversing with Guoba in the kitchen at night. Guoba can't talk, but his companionship is a comfort.
The poor child. Her one friend can't even talk. I guess maybe Gaming is not doing so bad after all. Perhaps I've been too hard on him.
Let's move on, shall we? Do you have any plans for today, Shenhe? How about we do something fun?
That sounds about right. Take her to do something fun, and perhaps she'll loosen up a bit.
Like we used to do when we would carry stones up and down the mountain from dawn until dusk, picking herbs to eat for dinner along the way? If that is what you ask of me, then that is what I shall do.
Dad, here, have some tea. Or no, wait, best not have any just yet.
Yeah. I simply can't listen to that any longer. Coming. I'd like to finish what I was trying to say before. I don't support your decision to stay in Liyue Harbor, because living there is too hard on you. If you come home, there will be people to help you. I'm not saying we have to live under the same roof. I know our personalities are too similar to avoid butting heads. But you'll have your entire family around you. Your aunts, uncles, they'll all do whatever they can to help. You could get a less taxing job, and we could grab dim sum together from time to time.
I didn't know dim sum was such an important affair, Master.
Shh. Just think about it, okay? You don't have to decide now.
Dad really has changed a lot. He would never have said these things to me before. But thank you, Dad.
It's been long enough, don't you think? Oh, Paimon sure hopes they've made up by now. Oh, they're drinking tea in silence. That's not a good sign. Did Xianyun's plan not work after all? Hey you two! Paimon's sorry we were gone for so long. We got to chatting with some friends and didn't realize how much time had passed.
Perfect timing, actually. We seem to be just about done here.
Yep, let's go. I'll get the bags.
Gaming has grown a lot taller, hasn't he?
Master, did I say something wrong earlier? I tried to go along with your questions, but when I saw how you and that man reacted, I started to wonder.
Not at all. Certain unforeseen variables may have presented themselves along the way, but the outcome proved favorable. The plan was a success.
Then I helped?
Naturally. Your purity of spirit is one of your greatest strengths, Shenhe. You need not change who you are.
You must be Mr. Ip! Thank you for coming all this way. My name is Charlotte, and I'm a reporter from Fontaine. You can find me writing for the Steambird. I invited you here not just to purchase your fine tea, but also with the hope that you might be willing to sit down for a short interview. What do you say?
An interview? To advertise my teas?
I suppose you could think of it that way. We Fontainians are big tea drinkers too.
The Fontaine Market. Then I'll need some time to adequately prepare. Perhaps we could sit down and discuss the questions you intend to ask in advance.
Of course, of course! Please follow me.
Is this person also involved in your plan? And here I thought I had lots of connections. I suppose I've been humbled. You sure know all kinds of cool and important people.
Over here! Yoo-hoo! Over here!
Huh? What? Auntie Shenyun?
She probably wants to talk about the next phase of the plan. Let's go while your dad is still distracted.
I take it that all is going well?
Don't worry, Shenyun. Everything is going according to plan.
I knew it. I knew that was all an act earlier. Auntie Shenyun is really something. She was so determined to help me. She didn't even care about making herself and Shenhe appear foolish in front of my family. She truly knows how to look out for others. I still have a lot to learn.
As for the next step...
Oh no!
What's wrong, Gaming?
Don't tell me you're the ones footing the bill for all that tea. I can't let you do that.
Fret not. Reimbursements will be made.
Exactly. Think of it more as an investment, as Ningguang would say. We pooled together the Mora so that Charlotte could place the order. She's gonna bring it back to the Steambird as a gift, as well as a sample of the regional specialty. Fontainians will probably fall in love with your dad's tea as soon as they lay their eyes on Charlotte's article. And once all the money from the new orders begin to roll in, getting our Mora back will be a piece of cake.
Oh, okay. Business-related matters always seem to go over my head, but I refuse to let you all lose Mora on my behalf. I'll pay you back right now.
We can talk about such matters at a later date. There are more important matters for you to consider at the moment, are there not?
Yes. I've been thinking about it the whole way here. I have an idea, but I'd hate to cause even more trouble for all of you.
That is for us to decide.
Yeah, we're all friends here. Plus, we wouldn't be here if we didn't want to help, right? Just tell us about this idea of yours.
Okay. So, it's like this.
Got it. Just leave it to us. Let's split up and make it happen. We need to do those things we talked about, but we also still have the kite flying competition. Since Xiao already tested out those kites for us, why don't we also go buy one of those mechanical thingamabobs or whatever they're called? We can attach it to our kite. Hello again.
Welcome back! I see you returned from your trip. I really do have to thank you for all your help from before. Thanks to you, my daughter was able to build a kite with her grandmother that very same day. She even wrote a long letter telling me how much she loved it.
Oh, you should really be thanking Gaming, not us.
I'll be sure to. And are you here to buy a kite? Please, take your pick.
Oh, we already have a kite. We wanted to buy one of those, device thingies from Fontaine. Do you sell them separately?
Yes. Here you go. Please, take it, free of charge. The directions are in the box. It's not hard to install at all.
It doesn't feel right for us to just take it.
Well, nor would it feel right for me to take your Mora. Good luck in the kite flying competition. I'll be rooting for you.
All right then, thank you. Phew, it's done. Let's get down to business. Looks like we finished everything we needed to do. Let's find a good place and put this thing into the sky.
I never knew kites came in so many styles.
Chi-Chi, we're almost there. Okay.
Come here, allow me.
The Lantern Rite is as festive as ever!
Huh? Oh, what's going on?
Did something happen? What should we do? Oh, should we get the Millilith?
What's that? I taken that many pictures already? I need to load more film.
Wait, the wind.
Oh my gosh! Mommy, I want a big kite like that too! Do you see that kite way out in front? It's so beautiful!
Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite!
Gaming's performance was so cool, Paimon almost wanted to join in! You saw that, right, Traveler? Let's go find him! Oh! He's over there! Talking to his dad! I think I'll head off now, if that's okay?
Thank you, little girl. Do you want us to walk you back?
No need, no need. Master is waiting for me right over there.
Dad.
I suppose I'll go first this time.
Okay.
Your performance. I've seen many wushou dances in my time, but I've gotta admit, what you pulled off there was breathtaking.
Wow. I never thought I'd live to hear you say that.
You're serious about doing this professionally?
Absolutely. I know it'll be difficult, but...
Then it doesn't matter. What I mean to say is, of course it'll be difficult. But if that's your decision, if that's your dream, then it doesn't matter how difficult it is. As long as you put in the work, then any obstacle can be overcome in time. Really, when I was young, I also... Actually, how about we save that story of my past for another time? All I really want to say is, I've changed my mind. Much like this kite, you also deserve to soar to new heights.
Dad.
Son.
Son? Haven't heard that in a while.
I bet you're wondering what's gotten into me saying all this.
Well, a little bit, yeah.
Anyway, I know I've never found the chance to say this before, but... to me, Gaming, you've always been a great kid. Alright, that's everything I've got. Did you have something you wanted to say, or...
Seeing the two of them talk things through like this really gives Paimon a sense of accomplishment.
Now go. Over there. Your friends are still waiting for you.
Huh? But you came all this way.
I'll be staying in Liyue Harbor for a bit longer. When you have time, we can grab dim sum together. Your treat, right?
Dad, honestly.
Go.
Okay, then I'm off. See you soon.
That's quite the smile you've got there, Gaming. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
I'd like to find and thank Auntie Xinyun, as well as everyone else who's helped me out. If everyone has time, maybe we could all get together and go fly a kite.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing today.
I see the value in my own.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot! Didn't Zhongli say Hu Tao was also planning on spending some time in Xiaoying Village? We didn't have anything else to do today, right? Why don't we go have a look around? Maybe we'll run into her. The mountain air is so refreshing. It makes Paimon feel like she could float around all day and never get tired. Cream! Gummies! Fuel fruit! Huh? Did you hear that? Sunshine! Blue skies! Good vibes! Right? So Paimon wasn't just hearing things. That voice sounds really familiar. Well, we've got the time. Why don't we go check it out? What are they doing here? Navia, Clarande!
Ah, well, if it isn't my dear partners. See, I told you that something good was going to happen during our travels today. I have to say, sometimes the Steambird's astrology column is spot on.
It's just your lucky day.
Are you guys also here to catch the festivities? Oh, and that reminds me. Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite.
Happy Lantern Rite to you, too! Wait, if you're here for Lantern Rite, then what are you doing on top of this deserted mountain? And that voice we heard, that was you, right, Navia?
Oh, impressive. You could tell it was me from that far away. You've got good ears.
That or your voice is just really loud.
Well, of course it is. After all, I'm a boss.
Indeed. I suppose it's an asset.
Sure is! Having a loud voice is a handy tool when it comes to communication. Wait. That wasn't even Paimon's point. Paimon just wants to know why you two were shouting from the top of this deserted mountain. There was something about almonds, maybe? And buell fruit? Ooh, is it some sort of secret code?
No, it's not a code. The words are meaningless.
Perhaps. But the act of shouting was very meaningful indeed. That's just what mountain climbers do, right? After all the hard work it takes to make it to the top, as you stand on the summit looking out at the vast scenery, it's not easy to resist the urge to release those emotions. Exactly. You get me, partner. I was afraid that it would cause a disturbance, so I asked the locals around here, and they said it was fine. Apparently most hikers like to shout when they get to the top, so the locals are used to it by now. So, you see, it's not just me. I guess everyone shouts from the top of a mountain at some point in their life.
Speak for yourself.
When you're stressed, don't you ever just get the urge to do something for no reason?
Not really. If I ever get stressed, I just go hunting.
Oh, that's a pretty good way to relieve stress.
What I choose to hunt depends on my mood.
Huh?
Anyway, why don't you two give it a try? Shout anything you want. It's a real stress reliever.
As long as Paimon has clothes on her back and food in her belly, Paimon doesn't think there's any stress that needs relieving.
Oh, I bet you guys are just too embarrassed to let loose. No need to be shy. Even Farina was shouting from the top of this mountain earlier.
Huh? Did Paimon hear that right? Farina's also here? In Chaoying Village?
Believe in your ears. It is indeed as you heard. Actually, the reason we climbed this mountain in the first place was also because we heard the sound of shouting.
Yes, we could just about make out someone yelling things like, "Help me!" and "What should I do?" So we hurried up here to check it out. And what do you know? Miss Farina was standing right there, all red in the face.
She practically sprinted back down the mountain the minute she saw us.
Ah, that reminds me. I believe what she actually said was, "So help me, I will figure out what I should do about this script."
So, you could actually hear what she was saying? Why didn't you say so earlier? I thought someone was really in trouble.
I figured we would come check out the situation either way. Why not let her keep some privacy?
Oh, seems like you caught Farina in the middle of some stress relief as well. She probably would have never thought. No, she definitely would have never thought she would run into anyone she knew all the way out here.
I think so. We ran into Nervalet on the way here as well, but he was already on his way back, so they probably weren't together.
What? Nervalet was here too? What was he doing here? It couldn't have been for vacation.
I think it just might have been, actually. But apparently he only stayed for half a day before heading back. He's a very busy man.
Neuvillette is not the type to take much time off. Taking even a half day for himself is already a huge step in the right direction.
Didn't Charlotte publish an article on the Liyue tea industry recently? Maybe he was inspired to come buy some tea after reading that article. You know, just like you were.
My situation is completely different. I'm here because I was asked to accompany you. The tea purchase is simply an added bonus of this location.
You Fontanians and your tea drinking.
Oh, it's not for me. I lost a bet with Ridesley, and now I have to buy him something. It was just a spur-of-the-moment sort of bet. Ridesley gets really invested in that sort of thing. But he couldn't care less about what he wins in the end. You could give him mint plants that you plucked from the side of the road, and he wouldn't even mind.
If only he was that easygoing when it came to talking business. In any case, I'm pretty sure the tea you bought is this region's specialty. What is it called again? Nervalet even mentioned it earlier. Yes, that's the one.
You didn't really buy 10 boxes, did you?
Please, do I look like someone who would fall for that sort of marketing trap?
That reminds me. You guys said you only came up here because you heard my voice, right? I hope it didn't put you out. You must have had other plans for the day.
Oh, that's right. Who tell? A few days ago, we heard that a friend was going to be in Chaoying Village, so we decided to come and see if we could run into her.
Oh dear. We've been chatting for quite some time. I'm sorry for keeping you. That's good.
We should probably head out and look for Hu Tao.
No need to stay on our account. We just got up here, so we're gonna stay around for a little longer.
Go and meet your friend. We can meet up in Chaoying Village later.
Sounds good. We're gonna head down the mountain then. See you later!
What do I have to do to get you to yell from the top of this mountain? Name your price.
You really want to hear it that bad, huh?
I'm just curious is all. I have a feeling you'll say something amazing.
I will pass. I prefer to let actions speak louder than words.
Chaoying Village is known for its tea, but you know what else they have with tea? That's right, dim sum! Didn't Gaming say something about dim sum being eaten in the morning? Oh, Paimon wonders if we can still get some at this time of day. Oh, well that's fine too. Paimon doesn't care what kind of tea it is as long as it comes with some tasty snacks. Now, let's see what kind of yummy things we can find around here. Paimon's not seeing things, is she? Is that Farina standing between Zhangli and Hu Tao? Wonder what they're talking about. Zhangli knows a lot of stuff. Maybe he's telling Farina about Chaoying Village. Oh, or maybe Hu Tao is trying to rope Farina into being one of her clients. Hey, this isn't the Fortress of Meropide. But Paimon could be convinced for the right price. Let's say, loser buys the winner 3 huge bowls of seafood kanji. Since Zhangli is there, Paimon bets the These are pretty tame. It's decided then. Paimon votes for tour guide Zhongli. Alright, no time to waste! Let's go see who's right. Good afternoon, Hu Tao, Zhongli, and Farina! Oh, great. Now Paimon's shouting too.
Oh, well, aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Seems like our luck just keeps on growing.
That we were able to meet you both without prior arrangement must mean that this is quite the serendipitous meeting indeed.
Huh? Oh, so both of you are acquainted with the Traveler and Paimon then?
Looks like someone's learned a thing or two from Zhongli.
I must admit, I am a bit surprised to see you here, Traveler. But seeing as you're a hero who's been all over Teyvat, it makes sense that you would be well-traveled and well-connected. Since we have found ourselves in each other's company within this fertile land, allow me to take this opportunity to wish you a happy Lantern Rite.
It appears you have been to Fontaine then. Given your proclivity to spread good deeds wherever you go, it's no surprise that you would make the acquaintance of a celebrity as illustrious and celebrated as Miss Farina.
That's quite high praise. What I mean to say is, you flatter me, Mr. Zhongli. Although I've built up a certain following within Fontaine, it is no reflection of strength or wisdom. I stand before you right now as nothing more than an ordinary traveler in search of beautiful scenery and creative inspiration. There is definitely more to Mr. Zhongli than meets the eye. I could tell as much from our conversation earlier. Given his breadth of knowledge on both academic and worldly matters, there's no way he hasn't heard about what happened in Fontaine. Is he just feigning ignorance for my benefit?
No. You're no common tourist. I simply won't have you talk about yourself that way.
Huh? Does that mean Hu Tao also knows?
You may not have heard, friends, but...
Miss Hu Tao...
Miss Farina is now one of my esteemed clients.
Yup.
Okay, you win. Guess Paimon will have to break into the hidden stash at the bottom of her shoe.
Huh? What's this about winning something?
Don't tell me. You two were placing bets on us.
We just saw you guys standing on the side of the road and couldn't help but take guesses as to what you were talking about.
Oh, I see. That means you, my friend, must have guessed that I was trying to promote my business to Miss Farina. That I do, my friend. What was Paimon's guess then?
Paimon thought Zhongli was showing the newbie around.
By newbie, you mean me, right?
If that's the case, then Paimon's guess was also correct.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Zhongli was telling me about some great sightseeing spots in the area.
Ha! You see? Paimon was right too! Since both of our guesses were right, there can't be a winner or a loser. Hey, don't be upset, Traveler. How about this? You buy Paimon a bowl and Paimon will also buy you a bowl. As for the third bowl...
Since I was the subject of the bet, perhaps it should go to me? You know, as a congratulations for the huge deal I just struck. I was just joking. Anyway, I should be the one treating you. The funeral parlor is about to bring in quite the sum after all.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot to ask about the most important question. Something happen recently, Farina?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you know, with you enlisting the services of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor and all.
Oh, well, yes.
Really? Oh no. Paimon is so sorry for your loss. Although Paimon may have not known the person, please accept Paimon's deepest...
Whoa, it's not like that, Paimon.
Huh? But Paimon just thought, since you hired the services of a funeral parlor and all... Hey, it's not that big of a stretch.
Really, Paimon? It's not like you don't know me. Do I look like I know anyone who would ask me to coordinate their funeral? Miss Hu Tao is simply helping prepare some props for my film. Not too long ago, I read a collection of horror stories from Liyue. The content was spectacular. In fact, I still feel the need to sleep with the light on even now. Anyway, that's not the point. Now that Fontaine's biggest star has returned to the stage, I figured it's about time the industry enjoyed a breath of fresh air. Hey, that's pretty good. I'll have to remember that for my ad posters.
Oh, Paimon sees. That makes a lot of sense. So, did you come to Liyue just to enlist the services of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor?
Well, not exactly. My original plan was to just relax and enjoy the sights. But then I ran into Miss Hu Tao and Mr. Zhongli, and well, you know the rest. I suppose it was meant to be.
It was a fated meeting indeed.
Zhongli sure loves his lofty turns of phrase. But if you ask me, it's all thanks to that man who stopped to ask for directions.
Oh? Who was it?
It's someone you know. Wanna take a guess? What? How did you guess that on your first try?
Very impressive, my friend. Your guessing game is spot on today.
Huh. Paimon never thought Neuvillette would be the type to get lost.
I'm sure he didn't get lost. Even I was able to find my way to this place without any trouble. He was already getting ready to leave by the time I arrived. He just wanted to ask someone about the quickest way to get back to Fontaine.
Yup, that's exactly what he asked. This area is full of mountains and rivers. It's normal to not know the fastest route.
So, were you the one that pointed him in the right direction, Hu Tao?
Of course. I'm also a guide of sorts, you know. So naturally, I also have a great sense of direction. But speaking of your friend...
What about him?
He doesn't get out much, does he? Ah, no wonder. He was stiff as a board and way too polite. I would have never guessed he was here on vacation if you hadn't told me.
All in all, he was only here for half a day. I'm pretty sure he is the only one who would consider that to be a vacation.
Oh? This gentleman you speak of must keep a demanding schedule.
I'm sure he does. You didn't see him, but he was dressed like he was about to attend some important meeting. It wasn't anything like what someone would wear on vacation.
Is that so?
Wait, you didn't see him, Zhongli?
Unfortunately, no. At the time, it appeared as if Director Hu and Miss Farina were having quite the productive conversation. I know matters of business can take much discussion, so I decided to fetch some tea for them.
What a shame. That gentleman seemed like a sophisticated sort of guy. I actually think you two would have hit it off.
Is that so? Hmm? To borrow Miss Farina's turn of phrase, perhaps it just wasn't meant to be.
Well, with the Traveler around, I'm sure you'll have a chance to get to know each other at some point.
That's right. She's got more friends than she knows what to do with.
Well, that's certainly true. Oh, that reminds me. If you get the chance, you should try and talk to Neuvillette into loosening up a bit. Just tell him the Palais Mermonia isn't going to fall apart if he disappears for a few days. He shouldn't keep himself cooped up all the time. Even clams open their shells to let in fresh water every once in a while, right? If he's really that much of a stickler for protocol, he can fill out a leave of absence request. He'd have to approve it himself since he handles that sort of thing now, but you know what I mean.
Seems like this gentleman is also in charge of something pretty important. Yeah. Sounds like a pretty uptight sort of guy, all right. In my experience, a leader needs to be able to roll with the punches. That also includes knowing when and what to prioritize. It seems like your friend still has a lot of growing to do.
If I remember correctly, he's already several thousands of years old. You're quite right, Miss Hutao.
Oh? Traveler, Miss Farina. Those two individuals over there appear to recognize you.
Oh, it's Navia and Clorand! Hey, over here!
We saw you all chatting over here, and we're wondering if we could join in.
Please, excuse the interruption.
Oh, so polite. No apologies necessary. Any friend of the Traveler and Miss Farina is a friend of mine. Ah, straight to the point. I like it. It's getting late. If we want to catch a boat back before dark, we should probably get going.
Indeed. Then, Miss Farina,
Oh, yes?
when are you planning to head back? Do you need us to escort you?
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary. I mean, you're not my subordinate anymore. You don't need to look after me.
I didn't mean it that way. It's normal for friends to travel home together if they run into each other on the road.
There are a lot of mountainous roads in this area. I imagine they'll be even harder to navigate after dark. Exactly. Just like in those ghost stories. 8 paths converge in a wood. Beside them an old house is stood. If you dare to go inside, not a soul will greet your eye. But if you take a closer look, there may be something you mistook. A candle flickers to and fro, yet there is no wind to make it so. What is its secret? What could it mean? In this wood, where mystery screams.
My dear demoiselles, ladies, no, I mean friends, please take me with you.
Of course.
Gotta say, Farina, you are really quite the character. By the way, did I hear you mention that Clorand used to work under you? Then you must have also been a leader at some point.
Well, that's, all in the past now. Besides, being a leader is hard. It wasn't the right job for me. I prefer how things are now. I can come and go as I please, and get to enjoy the sweet taste of freedom.
I see. Well, you've certainly picked an apt place to relax. Chaoying Village is an exemplary choice.
Only the best. And I've learned a lot, too. Thank you so much, Miss Hutao and Mr. Zhongli.
It's fine. You've thanked us more than enough already. The next time you're in this neck of the woods, I'll treat you to some dim sum in the city.
Dim sum? Is that some kind of Liyue term for snacks or desserts?
They are a part of it. It's basically a table full of as much tea, sweets, and good company as you can manage.
Oh, so it's basically a tea party. Sounds great.
Make sure to order the winter melon cake and the lotus flower crisp. They're so sweet and delicious, Paimon knows you'll love them.
Ooh, okay. I'll be looking forward to it then.
Wait, but didn't you guys say you were here on vacation? How come you're all going home empty-handed?
Of course I am. I bought tons of fun things to bring home with me. A kite, a parasol, a little tin frog that jumps. Oh, and a stuffed toy of a mythical beast. Clorand is the one who didn't buy anything for herself.
So all you're bringing back with you is that tea?
And some tea-flavored hard candies. They're for Sigewin.
Clorand isn't much of a shopaholic.
Well, one of us has to practice restraint.
Hey, I'm hardly reckless with my Mora. I'll have you know, all the purchases I made today were well within my budget.
Me? Oh, well, I bought some tea, of course. I just had to try all the varieties recommended in the Steambird. Other than that, just some bits and bobs, you know. A little bit of this, little bit of that. They should all be things I can use, I think.
Now Paimon's even more confused. If you bought that much stuff, where did it all go? Into one of Linny's magic packets?
Oh, actually...
Monsieur Neuvillette took them with him.
Oh, so that's what happened. Wait, what? Why did he take them? He's not hoarding treasure, is he?
That's quite the imagination you've got there, Paimon. Monsieur Neuvillette just saw the amount of bags we had and offered to take them back for us. I felt a bit bad at first, but, I really did have a lot of stuff.
He even offered to deliver my gifts to the Fortress of Meripede for me once he's done with the day's work. Neuvillette is a man of his word. If he says he can do something, then he means it.
See, even Clorand was happy to take him up on his offer. If even his trusty subordinate agreed, then who was I to refuse?
Wow, he seems like a real gentleman. Maybe he's not as uptight as I thought. If only the funeral parlor had an employee as thoughtful, proactive, and responsible as him. Right, Zhongli?
Indeed.
Clorand said Neuvillette offered to deliver her gifts to Risley. So if we go to the entrance of the Fortress of Meripede, maybe we'll run into Neuvillette. But we don't know exactly when he'll show up.
Oh, that reminds me. A new year of work is about to begin. If there's anything you want to talk about, Zhongli, you know you can come to me. I'm all ears.
Does the director have any concerns?
It just seemed like you were a bit preoccupied today, and much less talkative than usual. He barely said anything other than, "Is that so?" and "Indeed." If you ask me, I'd say you're having a midlife crisis. You're getting to be around that age after all.
Is that so?
Ugh.
I jest. Given its distance from the city, Chaoying Village enjoys a much slower pace of life. Surrounded by such peace and tranquility, I also seem to have developed a proclivity for inactivity. I apologize for making you worry.
I see. What do you think, Traveler? Is this atmosphere putting you in a lazy mood too? Wow, you are getting really good at these kinds of lines.
Indeed.
Look! It's Neuvillette! We lucked out!
Oh, it's you. It has been some time since our last meeting. Few people frequent this location. Since I was able to conclude my work early for the day, I thought I might take a walk and avail myself of this area's peace and quiet.
You call this early? Do you always work this late, Neuvillette?
Strictly speaking, that depends on the agenda for the day. I am hardly bereft of time, however, so working late is of little consequence to me.
Really? If you have so much time on your hands, then why did you only go to Chaoying Village for half a day?
First, I should clarify that I was referring to my lifespan, rather than the time at my disposal on any given day. Second, I was unaware you possessed knowledge of my trip to Chaoying Village. I see. Thank you for informing me. Yes, they have been safely delivered.
I have to hand it to Clorand. Just a simple gift delivery, and she has the great and mighty Udex at her beck and call.
I was just passing through. It was merely an act of convenience.
All right. Then I hereby confirm receipt of the goods on behalf of the staff of the Fortress of Meripede.
A verbal receipt of confirmation? Is such a formality really necessary for a small matter such as this?
Guess not. This quantity of tea, though, seems a little excessive for a gift, don't you think? Before you know it, they'll start accusing me of taking bribes.
About that. Much of that is my own excess, I'm afraid.
Oh? Why? What happened?
It was buy 10 boxes, get half off.
Ah, that explains it then. Well, go ahead and leave them to me. I'll get through this stash as fast as I can.
You have my thanks. Oh, there's something else I'd like to give to you.
This is a stone slate, engraved with a symbolic design.
While that is an apt description, it is in actuality a legal codex.
A legal codex, huh?
Before the advent of modern writing utensils, information was recorded on stone slabs such as this. The law was no different.
Okay.
Since ancient times, the scales of justice have symbolized the fairness and impartiality of judiciousness. As a tribute to that sentiment, this slate was designed after a traditional legal codex and engraved with a symbol instead of text. During my travels recently, I chanced upon a roadside stall offering tourists the opportunity to try their hand at the ceramic arts. So I decided to have a go. We joked with Clorand some time ago about gifting you a legal codex. So, here you go.
Ah, so that's what this is about.
I did not expect you to remember it as well. In any case, I hope this can be considered as a reasonable attempt to join in on the banter.
It is a very good attempt. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Even your sense of humor centers around the law. That's an impressive level of commitment. Well, a gift of this significance deserves to be put on display, and I know just the place. Front and center in the Fortress's showroom.
Surely there's no need for such a grand gesture.
Just kidding. I don't have anything like a showroom. But we do have a storage room. We can put it next to all the mechanical parts Sijuin has collected.
That sounds good to me.
So that's what you were doing in Chaoying Village.
Indeed. Of course, while I was there, I also took the opportunity to taste the local spring water. The aftertaste is much purer than what I have delivered to me in Fontaine. It stands to reason that the long-distance transport has a tendency to imbue the water with extraneous emotion. If you want to experience the true flavor, you simply have to go to the source. Perhaps I should organize some time off to do the same elsewhere. Then we are of the same mind. It appears my desire is justified.
If you say so, but you know you don't have to justify a vacation, right? You can just take one. After all, you're hardly bereft of time. You can do whatever you want.
You're quite right. I suppose I suffer not from a lack of opportunity, but rather a lack of inspiration. However, after reading a few articles about Liyue's holiday traditions, the idea popped into my head and made itself quite at home. Seeing as I was free of responsibilities for the morning, I decided to depart at once. Refreshing. My spontaneous outing seemed to inspire quite a few other spontaneous decisions as well. Take, for example, my foray into ceramics. At first, soil from the ground is granular and unforgiving, but add the right amount of water, and it becomes soft, moldable, and able to take shape. In the past, I never thought about how quotidian vessels were crafted, but now I have participated in their very making. This is also something I made today.
That's a ladle? Paimon thought it was supposed to be some long-necked sea creature.
That was indeed one of my inspirations. Really? You like it? To tell you the truth, given your unexpected arrival, I find myself quite unequipped to give you the welcome you deserve. Around such an important holiday such as this, human custom would dictate that gifts should be in order. But I'm afraid this is all I can offer. If you'll have it, that is. That is precisely why it would do me such a great honor if you accepted. You are most welcome. Happy Lantern Rite. Approve a leave of absence request for myself. That sounds like it could easily lead to a vicious cycle of self-indulgence, something which couldn't be in further violation of protocol. But I suppose I understand her point. My proclivity to refrain from personal outings does, in part, originate from a sense of responsibility toward my duties. But it is also due to a lack of desire to engage in the human world. But now I see that the human world is indeed full of many interesting places to discover. Lantern Rite marks the start of the new year in Liyue. In the spirit of the season, then, I wish you a year of success as vast and endless as the open ocean.